Hey guys, back again, me and my thumb. Sorry, me and Disco. You know that this is the spot of the trail when we walk that we start on because it seems like I can get my bearings here, and I don't have to carry him. I've already carried him up one hill. So I'm wondering what your feedback is on the post this week. It's probably a bit more activity than you've seen in 1 week. I'm trying to make sure he doesn't get run over. So I tried out a couple of things. I wanted to obviously reward and just continue to give back to not only the podcast junkies obviously, but people who've been guests. And whenever I see something there that stands out, apologies for the two cars, or that catches my eye as an idea, I'm always trying new things, as you can guess. And so I noticed that Patrick, shout out to Patrick Keller of Big Seance Podcast, it was his birthday, and he's such a super fan. I mean, he's literally one of the first people to listen to the episode, and I know he listens because he puts in that secret retention hashtag that's only at the end of the episode. So unless he's cheating, which I doubt that, I know that he's not, because he's a super fan. He puts it in there, and he's one of the first ones to do that. And I saw a couple other people using that this past couple of weeks. So we had I think since we last spoke, had Jeanette and Alex Ruiz, a lot of fun. But the energy level of all day, for some reason, there's no traffic on this street usually, and today there's like 4 cars. So Jeanette and Alex, it was funny to have that back to back with Engel, because I mean, if you listen to them back to back, it would have been funny because the energy level was so crazy with Jeanette and Alex, and then completely shifted because Engel sort of led that way, and I just jumped straight into it, and I can get zen as well. And I think with his mood and the questions he was asking, it was just different, and I just really enjoyed that. I don't know if dichotomy is the right word. I'm going to have to think about a better word for that. So that was interesting. And so anyway, that's a tangent. I was talking about Patrick and the fact that his birthday popped up. So I decided, I'm in another coaching group, and they do something similar for the members, and I really have always liked that. And I'm trying to figure out the best way to actually keep track of everybody's birthday, but for now I'll just maybe keep an eye out on the reminders. But as you know me, if I could find a way to just kind of leverage some tracking for that would make it a little bit easier for me, I'd do that. But for now, it's still fun. So I got one out for Dionne. Shout out to Rob as well. It's just nice thing to try. So if you got a group for your podcast and you're managing super fans, by all means, please take those ideas and just keep the engagement going with your groups, because people love that stuff, and it starts conversations. And I know Jason Bryant jumped in. Shout out to Jason, and he said he was a good idea. And so yeah, Jason, I think again, this idea of engagement and this idea of your podcast does not begin and end with the recording of your MP3, guys. I think you know that already. And so that's the reason I started this group, and it's grown and it's fun, and that brings me to Denny, who had a huge milestone with episode 400, which is amazing. We started around the same time. He's just been a bit more prolific than me, and we've got a lot of mutual friends. We went to one of the first podcast movement in 2015 in Dallas, and that was a lot of fun, and I hope to see him again soon. And those 3 tips that he mentioned were so important, because a lot of times we think about the numbers and we think we should be like having crazy downloads. I think it's more about the impact that you can have with a moderate amount of downloads, and it's more important about who you're connecting with, who you're engaging with, and if you're speaking to your ideal audience. And that doesn't matter, man. You could have a couple of hundred and you're still changing lives. That example that they like to use is the idea of having 200 people in a room that you can talk to. A lot of people would freak out with that, and I think, and yet podcasters, when they get a couple of hundred downloads on an episode, they get all bummed out. So we have to keep things into perspective. And yeah, I think the next one is Tina Dietz coming up. And oh, actually, I'm going to post something tomorrow as a reminder, but here's another sneak peek. I'm interviewing Gary Leland. He's one of the original founders of the podcast movement, another podcast veteran. Pretty sure it's 10 plus years as well with him. So I'm actually going to prompt for some questions. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. As you might imagine, it's going to be pretty low-key, conversational, as I like it. And yeah, it's just something to check out. And just wanted to give you an update on how my mind has been working, what I've been thinking about with the group. And I'm glad it's motivating or inspiring you, a couple of you, to maybe try something with your group. And if you don't have a group already, you should start one for your podcast and just report back here on how it goes, and shoot me a link and I'll jump in as well if I can help kickstart some conversations. All right. Salutations from Silver Lake once again, courtesy of myself and Disco.